Events in Africa are changing, faster, smarter, bolder. And the people behind them, they're rewriting the rules of connection. I'm Projeni Pather, and this is Africa Event Connect, the podcast where we unpack the stories, ideas, and innovations shaping the future of our industry. If you live and breathe events, from exhibitions to experiences, this is your space to get inspired and stay ahead. Follow, share, and tune in because together we're connecting possibility.
So whether you're managing a small event, a national roadshow, or building client loyalty and staff loyalty, procurement comes to play, right? Now, promotional products, branded materials, supplier partnerships, they're often seen as line item commodities. But what if procurement could be strategic? What if it could actually enhance the attendee experience at our events, elevate your brand, and strengthen your business relationships? I'm sure you'll buy into that. Today, I'm going to be chatting with Brett Cohen, who's the Managing Director of Promo One. He brings over 25 years of experience in the promotional and branding industry. Now, in this episode, we can explore the thinking behind the buying, transitioning from cost-based to value-based decisions, and shifting from supplier transactions to partnerships that elevate relationships. Brett, thank you so much for joining us today, and a warm welcome to you.
Hi, Projeni. Thank you for having us, and I'm very excited to be here.
Well, so am I. I have so many questions on behalf of this community of event and marketing professionals, right? So let's just start right at the top. You talk about the need to shift from commodity buying, where people, just aren't looking for the cheapest product, but to strategic buying. Now, we don't often think about that when we sourcing promotional items and branded items. It's just about where can we find it and how much is it cost and does it fit into the budget? So can you unpack that difference for us? Strategy when it comes to that is an interesting one.
Yes, well, I think when you look at strategy, that's really the most important part, because when you buy something, even if it's for yourself personally, you make an informed decision as to what you want and why you want it. And I think when you look at strategic from an event or from a corporate perspective, it's not just buying a pen or buying a notebook, it's what you're actually trying to achieve by buying something for the target market that is going to receive it. And if you're doing that, you're looking at building a relationship and getting a human element, a touch point with your staff or your client. So it's not just about buying something that's going to be thrown away or put in a cupboard. It's about actually getting the benefit out of what you're buying. So the strategy is vital.
Yeah. So you're going back to why do you need this, right?
Yeah.
That why. You want to give them something. Why do you want to give them something? Sometimes people just think anything with my logo on it is good enough. But you're saying let's look a little bit more deeply into that.
Yes, and I think that's where the strategy comes in. It's not just the fact that you've got an event and you want to give them something. It's what are you going to give them that they're going to use and remember the event and remember the company that gave it to them. So you're talking about brand loyalty.
Yeah.
You're talking about memories, and it's the human memories of being at the actual event.
Yeah. I often speak about, I've spoken about this for many years, and I talk about trash or treasure, because very often I've seen clients that come to our events and they exhibit with us and they want to give something, I often ask them that very, very question is, it's going to either be considered as trash or treasure. And how do you decide that? And I think that's where that strategy goes by, because if you don't think about the strategic reason behind you handing these out, then it is a waste of time and that becomes trash.
Yeah. And I think it's also, it's the creative product. It's also how you actually brand the product. So it's not just putting a logo on a product. It's how you apply it. Can you apply it in a way that the recipient is going to remember the event, not just the company that gave it?
Right.
And make it appear more retail. So give it a creative element in terms of the branding. If you do a coffee mug, Don't just put a small little logo on it. Make it look with an African design that relates to the event.
Oh, now that you say that, I wish that I had brought my water bottle that I received at Festival of Events. I thought that was lovely, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that I knew I was not going to hand to somebody else. I wanted to use it personally because I love the design, I love the branding. It was funky, it was fresh. It was something usable that I was going to use, that I'd make use of every day. And I'd always remember it because it was just, it's an item that wasn't going to just go onto my shelf.
Yeah.
So I completely get you. I should have brought that today, but I didn't. But anyway, so how do we work this into tight budgets? Because that's another one, right? How do you, timelines are short, budgets can be short, right? Now, how does strategic buying look like when you have those kind of factors affect you?
Well, I think it goes back to the old stage of planning.
Right.
And when there's an event, normally there is a long lead time to planning the event.
It is.
The challenge is, how do you get, whether it's your procurement people, your event planners, your marketing people, to actually understand the importance of ordering the premiums or the swag or the merchandise as soon as they know the event is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, if it's a last minute event, you are limited to what's available. You're limited in terms of the time to brand. If you want to do sophisticated full color branding, it takes longer than one color branding. So I think it's just a matter of planning, and planning is probably the key element, because when you do merchandise for an event, the longer the lead time, the better quality item you can get, the better priced item you can get, and the better branding you can get on the element. It's not just a matter of finding a product that's immediately available that you can pop a logo on. There are many ways to skin a cat. So
Right.
you've got the opportunity of importing merchandise for big events, which means you can have Pantone matched colors, you can have specialized zip pulleys on bags. But if you do it last minute, you've just got an opportunity to buy what's ready-made to pop a logo on.
That is
So
so
planning, I think, always plays a material part of deciding what you want and getting the best result.
So do you think this is the most crucial element in terms of effective procurement, and why most event planners and marketers get it wrong when they're trying to source items within their budget and timelines?
Well, I don't think you can say they get it wrong. I mean, in often,
Or maybe one of the reasons why they get it wrong.
yes, one of the reasons is they think it's just merchandise and they've got to give something away, and they do it at the last minute. Rather, think of the merchandise as building, and that's what we're talking about, the importance of the merchandise, because that is what's remembered.
That's true.
In the event.
Now, let's take it back a step, and I think a lot of people take this for granted, right? We just assume that you have a warehouse full of this, that we can just order, plonk our logos on, and off we go. Let's take a step back into that procurement process for finding merchandise and promotional items that are meaningful. What happens in the background? Like, how do you get all of this and provide us with the right things?
Okay, so yes, you are correct. There are a number of warehouses with lots of stock. And that is a very small part of the industry. The industry, it's a little misconception in the industry that everything is available and you can just deliver it.
And you'll deliver it next week.
If you want to be creative, if you want to be socially compliant, we probably have over 1,000 suppliers. The stuff is not in stock. You have to be creative and design it. So also, everyone doesn't want to just give away what everyone else is giving away. I mean,
you get the same thing event after event.
Event after event. So one of the things in choosing your supplier is someone that has got that creative element, that has got the know-how of where to source numerous products clients are wanting eco products. You can get bags that are made out of recycled bottles that are assisting 70,000 people that are collecting bottles, and that's their employment.
Wow.
So if there's a social element to the corporate that's requesting the merch, you need to be able to understand what to offer them. It's not just them phoning, say, we've got a conference, can we get a bag? It's a question of who's the client and what are they trying to achieve? And do they want to link it to almost a story? Because merchandise tells the story. And I think that's the important part, that we are not a product supplier. We're a service industry to the corporates. And I think that's where, I mean, we're probably jumping backwards and forwards, but in terms of procurement often just goes out and looks for price. But we should be almost treated as like an ad or marketing agency in terms of added benefits that the clients can get from their promotional gift or uniform supplier.
I like that you bring the element of storytelling in here, because that is so, so important. And sometimes when we talk about procuring of promotional items, it's forgotten. Yes, we have an event theme or a marketing theme for the event that we want it to infiltrate and we want the take-homes there. But we forget to work with suppliers, our procurement supplier, in terms of ensuring that that follows through, because there's this fine line where it could just be a giveaway versus part of the brand story, right?
Yes.
And how do you provide that service of ensuring that you're able to provide products in sync with that brand story?
I think that's the key element also, is that you need to partner with the client. It's not just obviously there are thousands of clients and you get requests, can we get a quote on this and this and this? But as you're dealing with the bigger clients that are having numerous events, or they order once a week, or you understand them and you don't just quote them on what they're asking. You need to understand their business. You need to understand their event, their product launch. Is it for staff? Is it for clients? And you need to understand the logistics of what they have to do from their side to it may be a national event.
That's true. So where does the distribution happen?
And there's so many more things than just the product.
Yeah.
But if you can understand what they are trying to achieve, you can go with suggestions in terms of building their brand loyalty with clients. And I think if you look at the industry we're in, there are so many facets to what we do. It is staff long service awards. It is client events. It is supplier events. It's golf days. It's conferences. It's uniforms. It's display items. So there's so many different elements, and you need a supplier that can carry everything through. If there's a golf day, you want the banners and the display to match the uniforms that the staff are wearing. You want to select gifts that will be appropriate to the type of person that's coming.
Yeah. Now, can you recall a campaign or event where the choice of that promotional product actually created an emotional experience for the audience? You know, it changed how the audience felt about the brand and created a connection. Can you give me any examples of clients that you've worked with?
We don't normally mention clients, but I mean,
or maybe
an example,
just a category.
No,
yeah.
an example, and it actually wasn't an event. It was actually an event, but I don't know if you saw that Toyota advert with the grandfather looking for a model car to give to his son for his birthday. So they ran that advert, which was highly successful. And what we did is we manufactured a sample of a wooden model car, And
Wow.
they started off doing that as a high-profile internal model car. And we landed up, we're still busy with it. It's now being manufactured in remote locations. We haven't employed, but we've contracted 5 people to make, they can only make 1 a day each. So they're going to be doing it for the next 2 years. They've now got employment to manufacture a model car, and they're giving it to every single dealer in Africa. And they're going to start giving it to the dealers that when you buy a Hilux, you will get a car. So it's those sort of things that it comes with a story. And I think that's getting back to storytelling.
Yes.
That gets exposure. It's socially compliant. It's creating jobs. It is something unique. And I think to find a supplier that can do those sort of things is not just buying a pen and putting a logo or a power bank. And I think that's there are lots of stories in our industry, and you need the clients to understand that that's a possibility. Otherwise, they're always just going to ask for something from a wholesaler's catalog that's, there's a water bottle and there's a bag and there's a picnic blanket. So you need that creativity. And it's getting back to the partnership. It's a partnership between the supplier and the client. And the more that the client is demanding of the supplier, and the more that the supplier can assist the client, builds long-term relationships and partnerships.
I mean, it's clear, like what you're saying is that the value is not always visible on the invoice.
Yeah.
The invoice is not about the value of the product. Definitely not. I mean, if you look at that emotional connection, and that's what events strive for. As event planners and marketers, we're striving to create connections with our audience, and what we give them, like you're saying, I think always needs to go back to the brand story. So again, trash or treasure, right?
Yeah.
So it's wonderful to be able to understand also I like the fact that, again, it's something as an industry that we have not taken into consideration when we procure, but the social impact of the procurement in terms of the employment and the communities that you're tapping into to source the products, or the recycling initiatives. All of that is happening in the background, and we are so unaware of it. Not many people within these organizations understand the impact of that order. So you are, yes, we tick boxes, and you are ticking multiple boxes here in terms of the brand story, your ESG, adding value to your audience. I love it. I mean, look at how much we've unpacked already. Now, what makes up the total cost of procurement?
Well, I think when we're talking procurement, the total cost of, let's say, merchandise or a product order. And there are so many factors, because we deal with a lot of tenders, RFQs, and they just look at the price.
Yeah, and we think, what
Yes.
did it take to make
Yes.
this pen? Yes, like the plastic, the metal, the ink.
Yes.
That's it. That's in my head.
So we do a lot of that because that is the nature of the business. And if it's a smallish client, you don't want to spend too much time. If it's a bigger client, you want to say, you've asked us for this pen, but what about this pen? Or you may go further and say, what are you trying to achieve? But there's lots of things that come into the cost of, let's call it, using a supplier, not just an order. And I think that if you look at clients, a lot of them may have, let's call it, a corporate cupboard, corporate storeroom, and they might have 10 or 20 branches, and they order everything to come to them, and now the costs for them start. They may have got the price at 5 Rand for the pen, and they've ordered 2,000 pens, they've got it. Now they have to receive orders from their internal branches. They've got to pack them. They might be using 4 or 5 suppliers, which means there's admin. They've got to do purchase orders. They've got to pay 5 different suppliers for the different products. If they're just looking at price, some will be cheaper on some items, others will be cheaper on other items. Then they've got to pack them in boxes. They've got to have ordered the boxes. They need tape. They've got to tape them. They've got to call a courier. They need to allocate the cost to the different branch. So there's admin costs. So there's many, many costs. They've got to store it in Sandton or in Cape Town at 350 Rand a square meter. The person that is packing the items may be a marketing manager who's on a high salary. So
Wow.
the costs of an order are not just the cost of buying the product. Yes.
And Brett, two things that I
Yeah.
think a lot of marketers forget about or in search for the lowest price is the risk of non-delivery, right? And then quality control as well of deliveries that are not up to your expectations. Am I right? I mean,
Yes.
that happens on a multiple times, right? By chasing price.
Yes, well, it often happens. I mean, when the big clients go out to tender, we have to supply our financials. They want to know who they're dealing with, you know, and I think whether it's a big company or a small company, you need to know who your partners are. You know, you can call them a supplier or a partner, but you need to know that what happens if you give an order for 100,000 Rand for notebooks, and do you pay a deposit or don't you pay a deposit? Do you pay in full before delivery? Where are the risks?
Yeah.
You need to choose a supplier that your risks are limited.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, assuming that you may even not have paid a deposit or something, but you order goods from a supplier and something goes wrong, have they got the means to replace the items? Are they going to let you down that if something goes wrong, they're not going to be able to fund it again or re-deliver in time?
Absolutely.
So I think it's really just choosing someone that you've evaluated the risks, and you say quality control. A lot of companies or resellers in our industry collect goods from a supplier and deliver it. They can't go and check 1,000 coffee mugs to see that they're not cracked when they come from the supplier. So they just deliver them. So
yeah, there's so much can happen
Yes.
in the process.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about, the difference between high and low cost comes down to, lots of things that we overlook. But a lot of it as well, I think, when choosing the right procurement supplier is the value-added services that the supplier brings, right? I think that is underrated in your view, but what does that really mean in a practical sense in terms of a value-added service?
I think there are lots of value-added services that corporates could use but don't know about.
Ah, okay.
So I think that they don't know about it. And yes, obviously a lot of those, there are a number of the value-added services that come from the smaller promotional suppliers, and that could be creative designs. I mean, some of the best designs may come from the smaller guys, but there are a lot of system and structural benefits that clients can do. And I think that's really where we've built our business from. And it's items like web shops.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's a
e-stores.
web shop?
So a web shop is, you've got a company that's got, I don't know, let's take an insurance company, and they've got 10,000 brokers, and they all need merchandise. Instead of the company buying stock from 100 suppliers and putting it and trying to get orders from 10,000 brokers on a daily basis and pulling and reordering stock, we manage the full merchandise programs for them. We warehouse the stock. The next thing is value-added service, which I'll get back to the web shop, which goes in conjunction, is a physical store. If you've got a company or a client that's got 5,000 staff at their head office and they want merchandise, we have a physical store where we employ people and tools and stock, and the staff can walk in and buy whatever they want. Business units can come with a purchase order and collect the stock there and then.
Wow, that's a brilliant service.
So it's those sort of things, but you need very sophisticated. We've built our website over 30 years, 25 years, physical stores. There's things like consolidated ordering rounds. It could be for a franchise organization that wants to do the year-end gifts. How does the franchisee organize it for 250 branches with spreadsheets going backwards and forwards and budgets and allocations? So we would sit with marketing and procurement, choose a selection of gifts, put it on a website, and then each franchisee gets a login, and we can load a budget from the franchisor as to how much each franchisee is allowed to spend. They go online, they choose what they want, and we treat that as 250 different orders, pack it per franchisee and send it off. So the head office has not actually incurred any additional cost. It's all built in, and it's part of the service. So it's those sort of things that you can't put a price to because they get it for free. So a lot of our additional services are not charged for, and you can't get that when you do a tender or an RFQ.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to what my next point, that, you know, great procurement isn't just about selecting the right supplier, but it's about partnering, right? And you spoke about this earlier, but let's dig into that, right? What are the key factors, do you think, that event organizers and marketers should consider when selecting a supplier beyond the product and the price range? How do you partner with a supplier? How do you find the right partner?
I think the first step is for them to understand that it's possible to have a partner in this industry. You know, so I think some of the bigger clients obviously know, but I think that if anyone's looking for a supplier, they should first try and understand their own pain points. Because if you want to partner with someone, you're actually looking for a solution. You're not really looking for a product. And I think that's really what they need to think, is that, yes, I work in a company and I'm spending all day running to a storeroom to try and find stock or to allocate it. How can I find a solution to not do that? And how can I use my time more constructively in the marketing department than going and pulling 20 pens for a conference? So I really think that it's more about how we educate the corporates as to what the opportunities of partnering with a supplier are.
Yeah, you're right. And so often there are strategic people within the organization that we're wasting time and energy and effort when our schedules are full enough as event planners and marketers. Our to-do lists are endless. So having a partner that we can rely on, that we can call on so easily is, I think, you know, it's like you're saying, it's all about, I think, collaboration and trust and shared objectives, and finding a supplier that can understand what we're trying to achieve. I mean, it's a lot like planning our events itself. You know, those are the kind of suppliers we look for with other parts of our event procurement, whether we're looking for a registration supplier or security. You know, we need somebody that we can trust, that can understand the objectives of the event, that can understand where our pain points in, and that's how they plug in. And we should do the same when we're looking for our promotional product supplier, right?
Yeah.
So which brings me to your experience and perspective on these fields over the years, right? You've seen lots of trends come and go. I mean, from the days of pens and key rings to it's become highly personalized and tech-driven as well. Now, what surprised you the most about how procurement has evolved over the years?
I think also it's getting back to merchandise. So if we look at how the merchandise has evolved, leaps and bounds.
Really?
I mean, how I started in the industry is I came across one of the, in those days, bigger wholesalers.
Right.
And I thought, this is an industry I want to get into. And somehow someone else bought it. They'd already made an offer. But I decided I loved the industry and I wanted to start.
Right.
But I would say that the industry is probably 100 times what it was. It has come leaps and bounds into the range of merchandise, the quality of merchandise. So in the old days, we used to call it tsatskas, giveaways, and you could even associate giveaways with the word throwaways. It wasn't, you used to do it because you had to.
Yes.
But 90% landed in the top drawer or were given to a kid or never used. Now, the quality of product that's available is astounding. I mean, it's as good quality as, it's sometimes better even than retail and cheaper.
Wow.
You know, and I think that's really where the market has gone. So it's not really, you also say what's changed in terms of procurement. I think that's where we need the biggest change. Marketing has seen a lot more in terms of merchandise, but procurement needs to understand more about the solutions. And I think that's obviously like when marketing is looking for a gift and they want a high quality gift, they can find it.
Yes.
But when procurement goes out to tender or to look for a supplier, it's not, what they should be doing is probably first be doing a proposal. Can you, as a supplier, if you want to be a supplier, give us a proposal. This is who we are. This is how many branches we have. This is how many staff we have. Staff want to be able to access the merchandise store. And when they do that, they should then get a proposal from all the people tendering and then shortlist those to give them a request for quotation on a certain amount of items and evaluate the added value exactly the same as an ad agency.
Yes.
When you go to tender for an ad agency, price doesn't really even come into it.
No.
It is a service, and we need to be known as a service business. People, it's quite funny in that when I started my business, I used to refer to myself as a pen salesman because that's when we started, that's what we used to do.
Pens and keyrings, right?
Now, our organization we are procurement experts and marketing professionals. If you look at our business, every single thing we sell, we have to procure. So whether it's these wooden cars for Toyota, or someone wants a glass with their logo, or someone wants a tablet with their logo, we've done TV sets for prizes, we need to procure it. And in order for us to do that, we need to procure at the best price, the best quality, the least risk, exactly the same as what we're saying everyone needs to do, with the same partnership with all our suppliers. And I think that's really where we are in terms of procurement needs to look at the added value.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think it's what's missing, right? It's that missing link for so many years. Now, what still drives you about this industry?
Well, you can hear that I'm passionate
Yes,
about the
after
industry.
25 years, I can still see it there.
You know what? Some people say, what drives a businessman? Making money. And I don't think that drives me at all. I think what drives me, I shouldn't be the managing director. I should be like the client relationship manager, because I just love meeting with new clients and existing clients and putting in new systems that make their life easy.
Yeah.
Because if it works for them, we're going to grow and grow and grow and get more clients that are looking for these solutions.
Yeah.
And I think that's what drives me is I probably spend most of my day with my top sales execs. They set up the meetings, but I like structuring the actual solutions to understand their business and make their life as easy as possible when it comes to distributing in Africa, when it comes to logistics, when it comes to ordering.
Yeah.
So I think the web shops is something that is an underestimated thing. I mean, I'll give you a quick example.
Yeah.
We did a new web shop for a client that had 3,000 staff members. The staff members had never been able to access the merchandise. Because for a staff member to buy merchandise, there's got to be a till, there's got to be stock. Where do they buy it from? They've got different offices around the country. So we launched a web shop. In the first day, I think we did 180,000 Rand of sales to staff, and it's getting back to brand loyalty.
Wow.
The staff have always wanted to buy, but they haven't been able to buy. They want to wear they want to show that they work for the company, which is a global brand.
Wow.
And all of a sudden now, with the web shop, they've been able to offer the merchandise to the staff.
Amazing solutions again. But that's extremely powerful. I mean, being able to create those solutions that allow us to build value and trust, and impact on an organization, on our people, on everyone that we interact with, and have a supplier that can do that for you is a great partnership, right? And it goes back to that, right? So Brett, thank you so much. I mean, it's just been wonderful having you here with us. We truly have learned so much about procurement that we have taken for granted previously. So we really appreciate it.
No, well, thank you. I think this is great.
Absolutely. I mean, we've learned so much that procurement isn't just about a giveaway, like we said, right? I mean, who would have thought the social impact of that and the sustainability impact of that and the partnerships that you create through this. And I think most importantly as well for me is ensuring that procurement is in line with your brand story. That too is so important, which is often we all, forget about, that we need to carry that brand story through into the procurement. And the value-added services that our procurement suppliers offer, to be able to tap into that as well. I think it's so important, and most of us don't realize that service is available. So thank you for sharing that. And if our audience would love to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
Oh, they can get to promo1.co.za, or they can Google Promo1, or they can contact me via LinkedIn.
Brett, thank you so much for this conversation. You've reminded us that procurement isn't just a back office function. It's part of the creative and strategic process that makes great events possible. And to everyone listening, remember, every purchase decision you make tells a story about your brand, your values, and your professionalism. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please share it with your network and subscribe to Africa Event Connect for more conversations shaping the exhibition and event industry in Africa. From me, Projeni Pather, thank you for tuning in, and until next time, keep connecting.